What up, everybody, on this wonderful Wednesday? This is your boy, Capree Classic, and this is the Capree Classic Show. And you're tuned in to WGODradio.net, the number one internet radio station in the world.
In the world, Craig.
You're not in the mic, so you had to yell.
Yeah, in the world, Craig.
No, it's all good. Hey, this is a beautiful Wednesday to be in October.
Oh, yeah.
I think last week we had on coats. Or when it was raining.
It was raining real bad.
Now the sun is shining. I had the windows down.
Ooh, you was fooling.
Oh, yeah. This is my type of weather.
Really?
This is my type of weather and my type of season. I think I said last week, this is like a sportsman's dream.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I got good weather and all the major sports. I'm good. I am good.
That's what's up.
I'm good. Now, you know, a lot of people complain about like the snow and the cold weather. I'm okay with cold weather. I don't really care for the snow part. And that's only because people act like they don't know how to drive in it.
Right.
You know, but for the most part, weather in and of itself, it don't bother me at all. I got another issue already. You know, but for the most part, weather in and of itself, it don't bother me. My comments is not coming up on Facebook again. What up? Who that? TNT. What up, homeboy? Glad you tuned in. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, cut that down.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's good to be back on another Wednesday. We got another fun show for you this week. This week, we talking about 20 things that you should never do in a relationship, in a happy relationship. I should put it that way. I don't have a word for the day. Not out of the Bible. I think if I was to just have a thought of the day, it's pretty simply just mind your business.
Mind your
just mind your business. Mind your business. That's simple enough. Oh,
and that's a polite way to say it.
Yeah. That's a very polite way to say it. But you know what? Actually, I do want to. I do want to talk about real quick cancel culture.
Oh God.
Yeah, and people trying to get rid of Dave Chappelle. Oh, here we go. Comment. I think people trying to get rid of. Actually, I think they've been trying to get rid of Dave Chappelle for a minute.
Yeah.
They've been trying to get rid of him for a minute. But this is what I love about Dave Chappelle. Now, do I love everything that he has to say? No. I don't think it bothers. I don't like it, but I don't think it bothers me to the point it bothers a lot of other people. I think people are, I don't want to say overly sensitive, but if you understand,
they're overly sensitive.
They are, but sometimes he can overstep the lines. But I think if you understood comedy, then you will understand why he says some of the things he say. Okay. You know, if real comedy is not necessarily offensive, but it's not comfortable either.
True.
It's not comfortable either. It doesn't have to be over the top as far as, you know, attacking people. But real comedy, real comics, they definitely make people uncomfortable with a lot of what they say.
Okay.
You know, and so when you try to muzzle or you try to cancel or you try to shut down people, not necessarily based on what they say in their arena, I think it can become a bit unfair. Now, this is my thing. Why are you trying to cancel him? Why don't you just not watch it?
Right.
Why don't we start there? Why do he have to be quiet? Why do you have to watch it? Or why do you have to subscribe to the network or the app or whatever that the platform that presentation is on? If you don't like certain music, why do the artists have to be canceled?
Right.
Why you just don't have to
Turn the
listen?
channel.
Just yeah, turn the channel. Don't listen to the artists no more. Like why we got to go off the deep end?
Right.
Why we just got to shut people down just because we don't like it or we don't agree with their viewpoint? You know, that's the part that I don't care about cancel culture. Now, what I do like about cancel culture is there is a underlying thought of accountability. I like that aspect of it, but I don't think that people have to be counseled to hold them accountable. I don't think that's right.
Great point.
You don't have to counsel people to hold them accountable, because more times than not, canceling them is not changing them. If anything, is making them fight back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And
more aggressive.
Yeah, it makes them more aggressive in their stance. You know, and a lot of times that defeats the purpose when you call yourself trying to counsel them, as opposed to genuinely correct them. Because a lot of times people say stuff and they're ignorant. Mm. You know what I'm saying? To what they're saying. They don't necessarily understand the magnitude of what they're saying. Okay. And so to cut them off or to counsel them as opposed to helping them understand how far they went and how hurtful it, you know what I'm saying, it could have been. That could be more helpful than just trying to, you know what I'm saying, cancel everybody. So I think we have to do a better job of not just trying to X people off. You know what I'm saying? But help them understand, you know what I'm saying, where they can actually be an advocate instead of the enemy.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So I guess that's my opening thoughts for the show. We got Dewana in the house. Hey, Wood, what up? What up? T-Boo, Tanisha, what's going on? Is that Alicia? What's going on, Alicia? Thanks for watching and listening. So we're going to jump into our topic of the day, relationship goals. 20 things that you should not do in a happy relationship. And I loosely say happy because happy can be very subjective. What you deem happy doesn't necessarily mean it's a happy relationship. That sounded so crazy. It did. What you deem happy to one person does not mean it's happy or it's a happy situation for the next. So, here we go. Number 1. Don't make your partner your entire life. You do not need to do everything together or make it all about your partner. And I think this can be an issue right off the bat. Number 1 can be an issue right off the bat. Because it's not often that, and I'm going to say it.
I'm saying it.
I'm going to go ahead and say it because y'all know me. Most dudes, they ain't got to do everything with their significant other. They don't have to. Women, on the other hand,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
you be like, you go on a trip by yourself? I mean, you go with your girl? No, I want to go unless it's with you. You be something like, damn, no PlayStation.
You don't want to go? I just want to play my video game. Right. You know what I'm saying?
2 days straight.
They don't want to go out to eat by themselves. Now, that's me. I would go to eat by myself in a second.
Yes.
I'm not a big movie dude, so you rarely gonna see me at the movie theater, period. I mean, even when it was open. But I would go to a restaurant and watch a game in a second. I will go to a restaurant and read, you know what I'm saying? Or just chill. I think most guys, I think this is something that isn't said often, but it probably needs to be said and agreed to more in relationships. And that you can love who you're with and be in love with who you're with, but you can't lose your individuality with being with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times people feel like just because they're with somebody that everything they have to do needs to include them. I don't believe that every single thing I do needs to include the person I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Now, people can take that as a sign of respect, which is very valid. You know, if you want to, you know, give them the ins and outs of your schedule and what you're doing and how you're moving, that's only one thing. But when you feel like you can't do anything without the other person being directly involved, I think that is a very dangerous territory, and a way to navigate your relationship, because at a certain point you tend to lose a lot of your interest. Like everybody's interests aren't the same, and so if one person likes, like for me, I'm a sports dude. I love sports. I watch everything. I watch baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, golf. Anything you can think of, I watch it. You know, and it's probably even worse now that you can bet on all this stuff. You know.
You've been making bets?
Yeah. Yeah.
You won a couple of dollars?
Yeah, I won a couple of dollars. So, you know, if I'm with someone that doesn't necessarily like sports like that, or they may not like sports at all, you know, it would be unfair for me to make them sit there and watch it. And then when it's time for them, they want to put on a movie or something. You're like, no, I don't even watch movies like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to split it. But I don't think there always have to be a time where, okay, you watching this with me today, and then tomorrow I watch this with you. Sometimes you can go to another room and just watch a movie. I don't have to be involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't always have to be together all the time. I think having your alone time is healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely.
It's healthy. It needs to happen. Now, if you want to spend more time by yourself than with your significant other, then you should probably
be by yourself.
Absolutely. But I don't think wanting alone time should be negative.
Right, it's not.
And it shouldn't be viewed as something negative. But I think a lot of times it does. A lot of times it comes across as you don't want to be with me, or you don't want to be around me, or it's something you don't like.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just want to be by myself. You know, especially if you've grown up, you know what I'm saying, as a single kid. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, you didn't have siblings and you didn't have cousins and you was kind of a loner. You know what I'm saying? I've always felt like I was a loner, and I had siblings. I had cousins. I've always been around people. But I've learned to be comfortable around people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I can sit by myself. Like, I think people ask me all the time, I don't necessarily talk just to talk.
Right.
And people ask me every time I'm quiet for a certain period of time. They're like, "What's wrong? Something matter?" I'm like, "Why got something to be wrong?"
Right.
I just don't have nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Silence makes people uncomfortable.
Yes.
Silence makes people uncomfortable. And their mind starts to wonder, what is he thinking? What is he, you know what I'm saying? What's on his mind? What is he seeing? You know, nothing. And I can be with you, and we can be on the couch, or we can be riding in the car, and I won't say nothing. And it's not that I'm upset or I'm mad. I'm just in my own headspace, and I don't have nothing to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of people, it can be uncomfortable, because they feel like as long as there's some kind of noise or some kind of interaction, that everything is okay. And that's not necessarily true. Some people can be, you know what I'm saying, they can be interacting and they can still be upset. They can still be pissed. They're just not talking about what they're upset about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. Don't make everything, or don't make your partner your entire life. Sometimes you need a break for yourself. And even your husband or wife. I ain't even talking about significant others. Husband and wives. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to get away from the house. Sometimes you need to have a girls' night out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
Especially if you got a good man at home that don't mind watching the kids while you gone. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. And stop using your kids as an excuse. If you got a good man at home, let them take care of them kids. And you go out and you hang with your girls. You need that time. You need that break. All right? Number 2. Don't compare your relationship to others.
Hold on. I had a young lady's mouth. Jay-Z, let Beyonce do what she want to do.
Bruh.
Girl, if you don't get your... You know what?
Bruh.
I ain't Jay-Z, and you damn sure ain't Beyonce. I'm sorry. WGOD. W God.
Sidebar. Melissa said, tell Miles Dixon to call me about my iPad, please.
Wow, really?
Melissa, I miss you. I need to get you and my boy back on the show. I ain't had them. I ain't talked to them. It had to be over 2 years.
They're about to start shooting another film.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get them back.
It's Richard's film.
Let's
too.
get them back. Is it?
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's get it back. Let's get them back. But yeah, number 2 is don't compare your relationship to others. Now, I think it is easy to say, but I think it's extremely difficult to do because we live in a society of comparison. I think we compare everything. And I think it's mainly because we have a front row seat to people's lives
yeah.
via social media.
Is it via or via?
I always say via. I've heard via.
Via just sound like a STD.
And via is a name,
right? But like, I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson, but you have via. it just okay. I'm just saying.
That's funny. I think, but I do think because we have a front row seat, it's hard not to compare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To other people. You know what I'm saying? Relationship,
you know what I'm saying? Your assets, what you think, you know what I'm saying? How you think, what you wear, you know what I'm saying? Who they with, you know what I'm saying? How did they get that? I think it's, I don't want to say it's ridiculous because I think it's human nature. But I think what a lot of times we end up comparing our relationships to what we think the other relationships appear to be. There's a lot of relationships that look good on social media, but if you was to actually, I don't want to say live with them because you'll never live with them, but if you actually understood some of the issues that they are facing, they're putting on a very good front.
Yeah.
They're putting on a very good front. And I will be the first to tell you, everything doesn't look like it appears. It don't. I don't understand how we fall into the trap of wanting things to look a certain way, knowing that it's not that way. But it's very easy to do, especially when you have a support system or people that love you and they're rooting for you and they care about you. You know what I'm saying? It can be very I don't want to say stressful because nothing like that should stress you out.
Right.
But it can be a very sticky, you know what I'm saying, situation to let people see things unraveling, you know what I'm saying, and they think everything is cool and they think everything is up and they think you know what I'm saying, is successful. And there's a sense that you don't want to let people down or you don't want to hurt them or you don't want to change their opinion about you. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're constantly gauging your relationship against what you see or what you think you're seeing, at some point you're going to end up being in a relationship you don't even know you're in. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we miss what we're supposed to be doing in our relationship because we're so busy focused on how what we have, does it look like what we want our relationship to be. And what you're looking at might not even be the truth.
True, man.
It might not even be the truth. So we had to get out of comparing, you know what I'm saying, our relationships to what we think we're seeing. Because a lot of times, what you think you see is not what it really is. Number 3, don't agree with everything your partner says. Communication is vital to a healthy relationship, but that doesn't mean you can't have your own thoughts and opinions. First of all, let me go back, because this is not my list, and I should have said this from the top. The last list was mine. This one isn't. This list is by Danette Wilford. So I am reading from Danette Wilford. This is her blog. Number 3, don't agree with everything your partner says. Now, this is the problem that I have with disagreement. For some reason, nowadays, disagreement comes across like a personal attack.
Yes.
I have no idea where this thought comes from or where this feeling comes from.
I think they get it wrong a lot of times because of the TV programs they see. They're being programmed while they watch them, especially Housewives and stuff like that. A lot of stuff, so they start like, no, what do you mean no? You know what I mean? And you be sitting there like, he just said no. I mean, and then they take it there, and then they wind up getting their way. But it's reality TV, this fake TV, and people absorb that.
TV.
Yeah, and they absorb that in their spirit. So.
I think it is one of the most frustrating parts of communication. Whenever there is a disagreement, it feels like it's taken as, now you have a problem with me.
Right, and that don't be,
you
that's
know what I'm saying?
That's far from him.
That is so far. Now, there are cases there are some scenarios where the two do go together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not necessarily often that your opinion of a thought is coming off as a jab to who I think you are as a person. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And right. I think a lot of people get defensive when their points and their opinions aren't agreed with, and they take it personal, and they take it like,
and they say stuff like, "I ain't stupid." You like, I ain't say you was stupid. You think I'm dumb? You keep acting like that. You know?
But I don't, and I have hundreds of examples, but I'll hold on to them because I think every last one of those examples, people would know who I'm talking about. But I have hundreds of examples.
Can you give us one?
Let me keep talking, and I'll see what happens.
Okay.
Dewana said comparisons are immature and disrespectful too.
Yes.
Yep, I agree with that.
Especially, I hate when people say, well, you used to do like that, be like this. But now I'm sick. You know what I mean? I don't feel that good. I don't want to walk around. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we first got together, you used to do all that. Look, Superman over right now. Superman transforming. Superman moving over to Marvel at the end of the month. I ain't gonna do it.
Superman done flying?
Yeah, he done flying. Matter of fact, they made his son gay. You see that?
I did see that.
How is Superman gonna be a bisexual?
I did see that.
I guess he'll try anything though. He's from another
Inclusion.
planet. Yeah.
Inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean that can kind of tie into what we're talking about because in a way that group of people always felt like people hate them because they're not included. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff.
Them people become bullies.
I think a couple of months ago they said that Robin
was gay.
I mean, I don't care one way or the other. It doesn't change the storylines or the stories or you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you what would surprise me and change the subject. If Wolverine was gay, that'd be horrible.
No, I mean, but he had long nails. I mean, so.
I'm talking about how really? Never mind, I don't even get into that part. Go ahead. Yeah, it's a whole different story.
I mean, but just because I don't agree, that is just because I don't agree with your lifestyle or how you decide to live your life doesn't mean that I don't like you as a person.
True.
I just don't agree with
what's going on.
A choice that you're making in your life.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And I think because there isn't a sense of agreement, that there's a sense of hatred that's tied to it. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I
think it's ridiculous. Why can't I disagree with you and still love you and still like you as a person? Like, why does those two have? And it feels like those two have to go hand in hand.
People force themselves on you, force their opinions and their ideologies too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
I had a girl tell me that she waiting for Jesus to come tell her whether to get the car or not. While she on the bus, I said, okay, well, you know, just some things in life you're gonna have to decide. It ain't like Jesus gonna pop up next to you, like, you know what, I need a ride, take me here. You know, I don't know. I understand. You know, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm too far. But when people start talking about waiting for Jesus to tell me something, I'm sitting up here like, y'all got a nice data plan. because I know how the data plan I got cannot reach where Jesus at. But if you want to go ahead and do your thing, I wait.
From my experience, and I'm gonna say this, and then we gonna move on. But from my experience, people that have to say that out loud don't really have that type of relationship with him. Yeah. If you have to verbalize that, you don't.
That's what I told her.
You don't.
I said, I don't think you know Jesus.
Yeah.
I said, do you wear a starter cap? She had, you know.
Now I could be wrong. I don't know her.
No, but you and Jesus is best friends.
I mean, we not, but
you Jesus' best friend.
We not, but you know, there are some things, you know what I'm saying, I have accomplished through him without saying it out loud.
Yeah.
You know, so
one time I said, Jesus, take the wheel. And he popped up. He said, I don't got no license. This Michigan. And I left it alone. But seriously, you really onto that the last point about the relationships. If
you can't disagree respectfully, that relationship is not going to last.
Not that long at all.
It's not going to last.
Especially with children involved.
Especially if there is no cohesion with your upbringing.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look at it like that, yeah.
Because if you've grown up in two different systems and two different ways of seeing things and two different ways of living and two different ways of perspective and experiences, there's going to be a whole lot of things that you don't see the same way. And it doesn't necessarily mean that one is right or one is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because our experiences is our experiences.
Right.
So there has to be some form of maturity to where I don't see it how you see it based on what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand it. Now, I might not feel it the same way you do, but you know what I'm saying, just logically thinking through it, I can understand how you think that way or how you see it that way. And if there is no common ground of how you can move forward in disagreements, that relationship, you can just flush that one. You can flush it down the toilet. Kissy said, it's a joke for me when I say Jesus going to have to send me a note. And she says that all the time when she's in wait mode when it comes to relationship.
Okay. I mean, because relationships, and I tell people, don't even put God in relationships. No,
don't tell them that.
Not about to get to a certain point.
No, don't tell them that.
Don't tell them that. Okay.
No. That's probably the problem. Because we take our choice to be who we're with as the end all be all.
What I mean is, a lot of times people is like, I'm waiting for Jesus to give me a sign.
He'll give you a sign.
Yeah. But
he ain't going to change your mind.
That's my point. They be having all kind of signs, like he got 6 kids, 4 baby mamas. That's a sign.
It can be a sign.
I mean, it's a sign, bro. I mean, just think about it.
It can be a sign.
He just got out of jail. You know what I mean? He still got a flip phone, a razor. Talking about, take this to singular wireless. I know they got it. Those are signs, but people always want to find the good in somebody.
It can be a sign if it doesn't align with what you want out of a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It can be, that a man want a woman that don't have kids yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, where you gonna find them at?
I mean, it's far and few in between. Yeah. But there are some that can't.
That's a BMW.
You know what I'm saying? So because she can't, do you disqualify her because she's everything that you want outside of that?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So is it more important of what she do qualify with as opposed to what she don't qualify?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a tough one, man.
And a lot of times we disqualify people because of what we don't like when what you do like outweighs what you don't like.
That's weighing heavy on me.
You know what I'm saying? But we throw away good people because the only thing we focused on is what we don't like. Mm. But they have all of the other characteristics you like, and help me if you can find somebody that there's nothing you don't like about somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you have to weigh it. You know what I'm saying? They have all of this, but I don't like this. So if this down here outweighs what you do like, okay, then there you have it. But you can't get mad when you don't find nobody. Wow. Because everybody got something.
True that.
And typically what you don't like is probably something that you need to work on within yourself.
Ooh, say that one.
It ain't necessarily them. Sometimes it's you. So you got to be careful of what you're saying, what you don't like about somebody, because typically when you're in relationships often mirror the different personality and character traits. So while they need to work on something that you don't like, you need to work on something that they don't like. It goes hand in hand. So
that's compromising.
Oh, for sure. But who does that?
I'm about to say,
who does that? Not in this society today. Is me. What can you do for me? What can you give me? What can you bring to the table?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, number 4 is don't give up your own values.
For being with somebody else, like don't lower your standards.
Yeah. Don't negotiate your beliefs. If you believe, and I don't. Let me be careful by saying believe. Because oftentimes people associate belief with faith, and they associate faith with church, and they associate church with God. You know, and I'm not saying none of that is wrong, because that is kind of how it goes. But there are people that have standards that don't necessarily go to church. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so we have to be careful when we throw out the word believe and beliefs, because that's a staircase to God and Jesus and church. And just because people don't go to church don't necessarily don't mean that they don't have standard and they don't have values. So I think we have to be careful to not negotiate our standards. That's pretty much what this is saying. You know, if you're somebody that believes in honesty and the truth, then you have to be careful to not get in telling falsehoods and accepting falsehoods. That's, to me, that's a form of, you know, negotiating your standards or lowering your standards. You know, if you're someone that don't believe in cheating and you get cheated on, that doesn't mean that's a license for you to go out and start cheating.
Right.
That's lowering your standard.
Right.
You know, yeah, you might love them, but you can't love them and feel like the only way I can feel better or even a score is if I do what you did.
True.
You know, so it's either you're going to forgive them and try to move forward, or just let them go. Because if it's going to be a tit for tat, then just like the other relationship, you can flush that down the toilet too.
I wish I had thought of flush on effect.
You th-
And then I'm gonna get one. Flush it. You know.
The church tells folks that mess. God doesn't choose mates. That is true. God does not choose one. He only chose one. No. He chose two that I know of. But for the most part, he don't. No. Actually, he only chose one. I take that back. He only chose one. And he actually created that one. He didn't really choose it. He created it. But for the most part, that is true. He do not choose mates. He gives us common sense to know what and who will make a good connection. Totally agree. And these are our Kissy's comments. All right, let's go to number 5. Of course, this is going to be a part 2 because I got 15 more to go. Oh, this is on me. This is definitely me. Number 5, don't try to fix all their problems. This is definitely an issue for me. Definitely. And I would probably say for most men, this is an issue because by nature, we are fixers, or at least we try to be. Even if we mess it up, we try to be fixers. We tend to hear from a problem-solving perspective as opposed to just a listening perspective. And I will say I am guilty when it comes to being someone that it's hard to listen without thinking of solutions as we're talking. I have that bad because I think one of the worst feelings in the world is to have a conversation and there's no
feedback.
No, I'm okay with when there's no plan of action.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like
no follow through.
Like, what's the purpose of talking just to hear a problem?
Some people just want to hear themselves talk.
I understand that, and I'm starting to learn that sometimes the end goal of a conversation is just to hear the problem.
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be a plan of attack after that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just want to get it off their chest. And that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? The goal is not always a solution in the moment. But I think for most guys, you know, it's okay, I heard you. Now what? Because I'm the now what person. That's me. I'm the now what. Okay.
Yeah. Now
what? Now what do we do? You know what I'm saying? How do we need to move?
True.
And you know what I'm saying? And that's me. And I think a lot of times that approach, it can be harmful to an individual that they're used to just being able to express themselves without feeling like they're being questioned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not in the mood to answer questions. They just want to get this off of them. But when you start going into problem solving, now you bringing up questions and you bringing up scenarios and stuff that they're not prepared for because they're not in that space. And I think when you try to fix everything, you know what I'm saying, you can find yourself frustrated because you feel like if it's not fixed, that there's no progress.
Right.
You know, and I think we have to be very careful that we're not trying to fix everything, because first of all, we can't. And if you feel like you can, then you're giving yourself way too much credit. You're giving yourself way too much power. You're making yourself too valuable in people's lives, because nobody should be able to fix everything. Some things are out of your control.
Definitely.
Some things are out of your control. And so if you have the attitude that you feel like you can fix everything, you got a problem. And I will raise my hand and say there have been many times where I have felt like I can fix it. Whatever it is.
Everything.
No, I'm not going to say everything, but I have always felt like there's not many situations where I don't feel like I can't aid in making it better.
Right.
Even if I can't fix it, I feel like there's something I can say, there's something I can do, there's a perspective I can give, there's advice I can give, you know what I'm saying, that I feel like would be helpful in the outcome, even if I can't fix it myself. You know what I'm saying? So, and that can be dangerous too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That can be dangerous too.
It really
because, you know, again, I'm making myself bigger than what I am, or I'm putting myself in a position to be considered bigger than what I am, and I don't even like rolling like that.
Right.
Number 6, don't be distracted when your partner is talking.
Like being on your phone.
Facts.
like this.
How many people have conversations while they're watching TV? Like, I feel like that's kind of normal.
It's normal, but it's rude.
It's like you having a conversation, both of y'all watching TV, but y'all still talking. But it's
my girl be like, hold on, man, let me tell you this one last thing. I'll be like this, okay. And then right before I cut it back up, and so you be like, you know what? Let me just cut it off. Maybe you get the hint.
You gotta know who the characters are.
Right. I think it's almost like what's going on? It keep going on. I keep getting
Probably full of memory.
I don't know. And I'm on Wi-Fi and I have a full signal. I don't know. I kind of feel like people are uncomfortable with I kind of feel like people are comfortable with no distraction. Like if it's just two people talking. And there's no noise, no music, no TV. It's like people are uncomfortable.
And they are, because they're looking, they're like, wait a minute. Why are you saying it like that? You be like...
It's like people don't like to hear themselves talk. They don't like to hear themselves think. You know, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't think there's a right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I've given out the advice that if you have a hard time talking with your significant other at home, then probably the best thing to do is to like go to a restaurant.
Right.
You know, if you know you talk about something that's gonna get somebody upset or get them excited, then go to a public place and have that conversation. So people can, you know what I'm saying, so both of y'all can kind of keep your emotions down and you can have a more civilized conversation. Because when you're privacy of your own home, first of all, you really should be having conversations like that at home, because the home should be a place of peace. So if you're going to have a whole bunch of arguing and stuff, you should probably, you know what I'm saying, go down the street, go to a park or something like that.
Definitely go to a park.
You know what I'm saying?
Just get you to throw somebody in the grass.
But I think sometimes people use those distractions as a reason to not be fully engaged.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
why
saying?
you got your phone in your hand?
Because
I'm waiting on the call.
then they'd be like, you ain't even listening. Yes, I am. What did I just say? You said,
Some of you be looking dead in your eyes like this. Okay, repeat the last. Repeat the last sentence.
What did I just say?
Repeat the last sentence. I remember.
And see, this is saying, don't be distracted. You know what I'm saying? When your partner is talking, which means you're choosing not to be fully engaged. You're allowing stuff to grab your attention. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when you're intentional about listening to what they're saying, it's hard to be distracted.
Yeah, very much so.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you just cut everything off. Like, if I'm at a restaurant, I just sit in my phone face up, just so I won't have a question of, why your phone face down? Because my ex, I actually did better. I had like a little flat thing to go over it, right? Why your phone down? I said, it's not.
It's just
Oh, get out of here.
So that's, and this says right here, put away the phone, turn off the TV, close the book. When your person is talking to you, really listen to what they're saying. That sounds so simple. It sounds so easy. It sounds simple. It sounds so easy. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's funny? Especially for guys, when the lady says, we need to talk, that's almost like your mama saying, boy, get in here.
It's like your mama saying, I know you ain't go to school this morning. I know you ain't go to school. Your teacher called.
And usually they say that in the middle of you doing something. So it's easy for us to be like, well, go ahead. Say what you got to say. While I'm doing what I'm doing.
No, you don't have to wait till later. Talk now. I'm on the phone right now. Yeah. So I can know whether to come home, pack my bags, or whatever I got to do.
All right. Number 7. Don't focus on the negative.
Yeah, okay. You meant next. You know, just go to another one.
Whatever.
Because women be like pit bulls when they come to arguments about that. Boy, they will lock down on it in a minute. Ain't that right, Talani? Anyway, women would just hold on to one thing. You be like, no, you ain't saying like that. You said, you like,
man, don't focus on the negative. Who does that?
Women.
Now I will say, and I know they're gonna come at me, but y'all know I don't care. Y'all know I don't care. We say women do that, but it's a whole lot of men.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of men that act like women.
Oh, you talking about acting like?
Yeah, not this station.
None of this, but they act like they act
This
like
ain't the station for
they
that.
act like dumb women pinchers in heat.
Well, maybe I'll come Tuesday night and say it.
Come on, girl. Yes, come on, come over to
I ain't
the
gonna
dark.
say it on this
come on
station
over
at
to
this
the dark
hour.
side, Luke.
But it's some dudes out here, man. They need to go to the doctor and see what they really got down there. Because they are horrible.
Grow a set, man.
Horrible. I ain't never in my life seen a bunch of dudes that act like chicks. And I ain't even talking about the ones that just dress like them. Because they've been dressing like them for a minute. Okay, I'm done with this. It keeps going on. Oh, it came back up. Nah, it's going back off. Yeah, I ain't even talking about the ones that just dress like them. Like, it's a mess out here now. A mess. I mean, they gossip just as much as women do. They just as messy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be if a dude cheated on his girl would go after the other girl. She'd be mad at him, but she gonna find a way to get back to the other girl.
Yeah.
If his girl cheated on him, he wouldn't care nothing about that dude. You know what I'm saying? He either gonna find somebody else to cheat on, or he just gonna be butthurt in his feelings.
He gonna be what?
But he gonna be butthurt and in his feelings.
Butthurt.
But he ain't about to try to check down the other dude. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that. Nah, man. Come on, man. They calling you, they texting you. You know what I'm saying? They in your inbox. Like, you a dude, right? You know we don't do this.
Right.
We don't do this. Now, it's either, you know what I'm saying, you forgive her and y'all move on, or you find somewhere else to go. But we don't do the, well, let me get back at him. Let me show. Nah, bruh. Nah. It's some funny dudes out here now. Funny. You know what? I'm gonna park right here. I'm gonna say this too. Since we at it. I think the roles of men and women when it comes to relationship and dating, the lines is not even blurred. It's almost like they're reversed.
Yeah. I think they systematically.
It feels like the lines were blurred for a while. Now it's reversed. And it's probably reversed because women have gotten so much more advanced in education,
yes,
and jobs and financial status.
Yes.
So they don't necessarily need men
for
like it was back in the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the average salary for women is more than men's now, like on average.
Wow.
And so women that don't need men to provide for them,
yeah,
or take care of them.
That's crazy.
You know? And on the flip side, there are a lot of men that need women to take care of them. And I think it's sad because both sides are looking for each other, but the capacities that they need them in are totally different now.
Right.
Totally different. So the women have gotten stronger and the men have gotten weaker. The women have gotten harder and the men have gotten softer. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the society the society we're looking at. Like, you have women making statements, okay, well, what are you bringing to the table in terms of dating? You got men asking women, well, what are you bringing to the table? Like, I don't ever remember those conversations going on in you know what I'm saying, back in the day.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? And I think mainly it's because we're not looking to have relationships. I think we're looking to have business ships.
Ooh.
I think now we're looking at people as transactions. We're not looking to have relationship with people. It's what can you give me and what can I provide, or what can I give you and what can you provide? You know what I'm saying? It's like there is no relation.
I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's now it's all transactions. If you
That's
can't
Janet
love
Jackson fault though. What have you done for me lately?
Ooh, yeah.
Eddie. What have you done for me lately, Eddie?
But I think that's one of the main reasons why we have so many failed relationships is because we're not really looking to be in relationship. We're looking at each other as transactions. And if you don't do this, then I'm not going to do that. If you can't provide this, then I can't provide that. If you don't love me this way, then I can't love you this way. And it's a tit for tat. And then at a certain point, everybody's like, okay, forget it. So everybody want to be with somebody, but don't nobody want to sacrifice
and put in the work.
And I mean, they put in work in other ways that doesn't pay off in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if it's a long run.
You know what I'm saying? If it's a... You know what I'm saying? I mean, because so like men, and I'm gonna say this and then I'm done because this is a gospel show, but for the most part, if it's not about good sex, people don't really have a need to be in relationship, especially women. You know what I'm saying? They used to need men to go to work and provide and pay bills and all that stuff. They don't need a man for that. For the most part, they got their own money. They got their own house. You know what I'm saying? They done raised their kids. They did it single. So they got experiences. You know what I'm saying? They lived through it. So they straight. What the season of their life they needed a man, they were cool. They made it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, the dudes are struggling, but they don't even realize you with somebody that don't need you. If they're with you, they want to be with you.
True.
So stop acting like you're such a necessity. Unfortunately, society has told us men are not as much of a necessity as we think we are.
And that's crazy.
And it's bold and it's crazy, but we aid in that too. It's not all society's fault, because a lot of times we use that as an excuse to not be who we should be.
Ooh.
So, yeah, society has a part in that, but if you keep giving them the bone and they keep throwing it and hitting you in the head, you know what I'm saying, that's your fault. You're going to keep giving it to them. So, I think we got to 8. We're in right here, and we'll finish the rest of them next week. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, 1 o'clock every Wednesday. Until next week, be good. You ready? And if you're not going to be good, be careful. Peace.